KCC105, week number 8 assignment. We're going to be talking about average baseline index. We've seen regular long-term indexes, and I'll refresh on that. Now we're going to add a second index on top of that, measuring an average performance. Let's see how to do it using financial data. In particular, I'm going to use the stock data from IBM. It's on my little clicker here. You can also type it up top. IBM. And it's going to sit here. There's IBM. This is daily data. You see 10 a.m., 12 p.m. No, I don't want a daily data. I need more data in order to see trends over time, historical data. I'm going to click historical data. Now it's giving me 1 year of data. Not enough. 5 years. That sounds about right. Yeah, 2013 to 2018. Now I got something. And instead of daily, let's do monthly. So I think 5 years of monthly data, and then hit apply. And yeah, there we go. Look at that. March, May, June, July, August. Right. This is monthly data, and you can download it. I've actually already downloaded it. So I'm going to just open it right here in my Microsoft Excel. This video, I'll use Microsoft Excel. Homework, everything I do will actually copy over to Google Sheets absolutely fine. So you're going to use whatever you're most comfortable with. All right. Lots of data here. I'm going to get rid of this adjusted close. I'm going to look at the closing price, and I'm going to look at the volume. Why the closing price? That's the value of the stock, and hope we can make an index to see how it goes up and down. Why volume? Volume is something that changes, but not necessarily predictably. We don't think of volume as getting bigger and bigger all the time. You have high seasons and low seasons. It goes up and down. It fluctuates, and if you work in restaurants, hospitality, you know how that works. And so anything that fluctuates like a volume, customer data, something like that, you're going to want to make an average baseline index. So let me get my titles right here. So this is the price index. So that's the stock price index. That's just normal baseline. That's like week 7 assignment. But then over here we're going to have the volume index. And that is going to be one of the average baseline indexes. Price index. Well, we can start with that. Like I said, in week 7 we know how to do it. Starts with 100. Always does. Equals. Click the price divided by the baseline figure. But I'm going to hit F4. Multiply it by 100. Same formula here in Microsoft Excel. In Google Sheets, everything is the same. It went below 100, but if I look at the price, yeah, it went down. So the price is below 100. Great, I got it. Copy that formula all the way down to the bottom of my row, and now you get the price index. Okay, so we actually started good, and then it dipped, and we haven't even got back to where we started from. So what's that say about IBM stock? Well, I'll let you make the financial judgments, but the index anyways talks about relative long-term performance. Volume index. Normally you say, hey, it starts with... Oh, not in this case. If you are doing an average baseline index before you even start that first box, we need to go over here and say, what? This is an average. Hit equals. Always start with equals. And type the word average. There it is in the list. I'll click average. And now that parenthesis says, the Excel or Google Sheets is saying, tell me what numbers you want me to average. I want to find out what's the average volume of this stock. So I pull it all the way down to that column. And I can hit enter. And right there, it shoots out the answer. It says the average volume, the average amount of buying and selling for my IBM stock is this 920 million every month, or 92 million every month. Okay, so now I can go back to the index. You don't start with 100. You go equals and click whatever volume for that particular month, divide by the average. And the average, guess what? F4. We know how those work. When you do indexes, the F4 says focus on that number permanently. Okay, multiply that by 100. This formula is in Excel. Google Sheets, it will be exactly the same. I hit enter. It says 82. That's less than 100. Am I concerned? Not really, because look at that volume. It's less than average. So that just says, hey, in this first month, was that March 2013? It was a below average. It was a slow month. We didn't have as much action. As I pull it down, I get to the bottom of my list. There we go. And you can see, like those of you who work in restaurants, you understand. You have high seasons, and you got the slow season. Maybe this is like a holiday or in the summertime in a restaurant, and this might be like February when it's cold and nobody comes to restaurants. So you see volume index ups and downs. Price index, we'd like to think it goes up. Okay, maybe IBM didn't do that for us, but this may behave in a different manner. All right, regular baseline index right here. That is your average baseline index. And remember, we're going to start with the average first. But once you get them both together, now this is what you're going to be doing for your week 8 homework. You're going to highlight both of those. I made them together on purpose because now I can highlight them both. Go up to Insert. Go up to a line graph. This is real similar to Google Sheets, except Google Sheets has them in different locations. I don't like those dots on them. So I'm going to start again. I'm going to go back to Insert, Line. I just want the regular line, no dots. Hey, that looks a little nicer. And you can see I was talking about fluctuation. Yeah, the volume index goes all over the place, up and down. High seasons, low seasons. So this is a good graph, and you know what, this would be, if you turn this in for week number 8 assignment, maybe I'd throw a little fit because look at those numbers down here. That is not January, February, March, April, May. And the other thing I'm going to talk about in the second video of annotations, you should be able to put these words right on the lines. So I could actually delete that, just have the graph here, and then I'll show you how to label it on your graphic. Check out the second video. But right down here is the other thing, is I want to change the this to measure time, January, February, March, April, May, that sort of thing. Google Sheets, I've shown you how to do that in previous videos. You click X-axis and you can type in the words. In Microsoft Excel, click those numbers, right-click, select data, here's a couple extra stops, and then horizontal. Horizontal is X-axis. So I hit Edit, and where do I want it? I want these numbers right here, the dates. By the way, those little pound symbols, that just means that it's not wide enough. You could widen it and you get the dates. So I hit OK, OK. The dates are in there. So now I can say, okay, where is this real peak? I can look down at the graph and say, okay, that's late 2014. So I say, well, maybe we had a good profit and IBM went up. Oh, no, actually, that's vice versa. The blue line went down. So you get the idea. You can look at the graph and you can say, wow, a lot of business, but the price went down. What's going on? A lot of business, the price went down. So maybe something happened in early 2016. But the graph, the average baseline index and the long-term index, you're going to put those together, and then hopefully you'll be able to derive some observations from that. And then the last thing, by the way, you get this graph, it looks great, but I need that in a graphic. So you'd have to take a screenshot, cut and paste, something along those lines. Google Sheets, you can save the graph and import. If you have any questions about that, how to get this into a graphic, please reach out. But as far as the indexes, hopefully you understand what we're doing in this assignment. Baseline index, you guys know that. Average volume index, average baseline index means you need to find the average first and then use that formula as before. All right, questions? Shoot out on email, and otherwise check out the second video for annotating graphs.